Hi, my name is Toby, I'm 35, and my liver is no longer trying to kill me. Hi guys, well it's been about 6 days since my last update, and I apologise for the shoddy background, but there's really not many places around here where I can get some peace and quiet. And being bedbound and ward-bound for most of my time until now, it's been quite tricky. And to be honest, I've been too exhausted. The fatigue at the moment is still as bad as it was before the operation. In fact, there was a point after the operation where it peaked, where it dropped off. So my fatigue actually dropped significantly and I had a lot more energy. And then my body kind of realised what I'd done to it and went, no, we need to think about this. We've got to have words. We're not happy. You've given us a new tenant and you didn't want it. So yeah. So currently the new liver is settling in, trying to get comfortable. As one of my friends brilliantly put it, I have refurbished my body and redecorated, and currently the liver is having a look around, seeing where the fridge is and deciding where to put the sofa. I apologise if you hear any background noise. Like I said, this is not the best location, but I'm trying to deal with that as much as I can, including projecting my voice a little bit more than I usually do, which feels kind of weird because I now look like some weird guy who's talking to porn on his phone, because I'm literally in the weird back part of the hospital where there is no one else around. The sacrifices I make for you guys, honestly. How am I doing? I'm good. Right now, I'm actually really good. I mean, I've had a great day. I have my bunch of friends come to visit me, including one friend that I've not seen for a decade. Guys, if you've got friends that you're still in contact with, try to see them more than once a decade. That's shoddy. I apologise. Anyway, so we finally met up after a decade and chatted like it was before. Absolutely lovely. And then a bunch of other friends turned up later on and made me laugh so hard that, again, my sides almost split. Literally. It was absolutely fantastic. I was literally laughing and holding on to the stitches, to the staples, to make sure nothing burst. And they were taking every opportunity they could to look after me by making me laugh even harder. Well, you know, they're your friends. They kind of got to try to kill you sometimes. No, I'm not lying. I'm not going to pretend that it's been easy. It has not been. In fact, there was a point when I thought, oh, this is going easy, and my body went, no, you do not understand what you've put us through. We're going to actually have that talk right now, and we're going to sit you down, and we're going to make you hurt. And yeah, so basically I pushed myself too hard one day, and I thought, oh look, I'm walking around, I can do several laps of the ward, walking slowly, more like shuffling, and yeah, so I was like, yeah, I can do that. You know what, I'm going to try climbing some stairs. So I climbed up 3 flights of stairs with a couple of friends in tow, one of whom who was worn out before I was, which was quite embarrassing. Emily, honestly. And then we get to the top, and I'm kind of reach the top of the stairs, and my chest is going, we're not happy with this. Like, you've already torn us apart and rummaged around and thrown new things in here. I mean, what is this guy? Where's he come from? I don't know yet, by the way. Those have been asking about whether I know anything about the donor. Not yet. I have a letter that I can write to them if I choose to, anonymously. And I'm not allowed to put any personal details on it. I hand it to the hospital and they hand it to them. And potentially, if they want to reply, they respond via the hospital. Again, no personal details. And apparently this is maintained, and it's only in very, 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 very rare cases that any of the correspondents actually find out who each other are. They just talk a little bit. So I'm definitely going to write that letter, but I'm going to give it time, because this is the liver from somebody who passed away. So some family out there right now is going through a very tough time. And I'm not sure whether receiving a letter from somebody saying, hey, I'm alive, but your family member is dead. I'm not sure if that's going to be comforting or like harrowing. It's a really hard one to get my head around. So I'm just going to keep off for a while, and maybe in a year or so, which I've been told is kind of average, common. I will write the letter. Actually, let's be honest, I would have written the letter long before then, probably many times. But maybe after a year I'll send it. But anyway, I'm going to do a whole different episode on that. So I just want to do this quick update to make sure that I update you guys on what's going on, because like I say, 6 days is a long time in recovery. So I came out and out the ward, and I was out of intensive care unit, which I don't remember at all, or ITU, which intensive therapy unit, I don't know, held onto the main recovery ward, and being thrown just these doses and doses of different types of medications, like powerful steroids and anti-rejection drugs and Lord knows what else, not to mention all the tubes that were sticking out me when I first got in. And one of the things I experienced, quite entertainingly, no, not particularly entertaining at all, was hallucinations, which is apparently a very common side effect of this whole experience. Because I kind of spoke to one of the doctors, like, I've kind of been hearing things, and he's like, yep, that's normal, absolutely normal. Like, oh, thank God, I'm not crazy. Well, I'm crazy, but I'm a different kind of crazy. So I'm going to do a whole episode on that weird experience. Now, what else have I had? I've had some absolute high points, and I've had some absolute low points. I was telling you about how it has been hard. Okay, so apart from the hallucinations, they were more weird than hard. But after I'd done this extra exercise and pushed myself, going, oh look, I've done all this, and I got up top of the stairs, exhausted, went to bed. Next day I'd been planning to kind of go, oh, I'll come in and I'll get up and I'll kind of do the same thing again. You know, and I'll just maintain that as an exercise for a few days and see how that goes. No. I woke up the next morning and my body went, you are not moving anywhere. So I actually was bedbound for that day. I couldn't do anything. Completely useless. And it actually got worse. The next day coincided with a reduction in my pain medication, and I woke up in the morning in the type of sheer agony I have never imagined. I was in so much pain, I literally could not communicate. I could not speak. I was just in tears, and I didn't know how to get anything across. Luckily, there are some wonderful staff around who have brilliant skills of observation and empathy, and they noticed I was trying to communicate in a different form, which was writing notes on my book that was next to me. They spotted that and were able to give me some comfort, both in terms of, okay, you're going to be okay, just breathe deeply, and another one rushed off to get me some pain medication, and I felt better by midday. But for that morning, it was really tough. It was probably my lowest point so far in this whole recovery process. But other than that, things have been really good. Things have been tough, energy levels are low. There are times when I go, oh, I'm just going to throw this in the bin that's across the room, and I get across the room, throw it in the bin, and I'm like, I don't have the energy to walk back. What's happening at the moment is my energy levels, I'll feel like I'm kind of almost on half or full energy, and then I'll do something and that will have gone. It just drains with one simple task. And it's like, oh, right. So there have been plenty of times when I've had to abandon plans that I've made for the day. For example, yesterday I think it was, my plan was to get up, have a shower, have a look at my notes, record a vlog, go for a quick walk, come back, chill out for a bit, and then at lunchtime look at editing the vlog and uploading it. Well, I had a shower, and that's about it. I went back to bed. I just literally, a shower completely drained me for the day yesterday. Well, not entirely for the day, but for the entire morning. Once I'd had the shower, there was nothing else I could do until lunchtime. Oh yeah, talking about highs, I got to see the therapy dog. Oh my god, he's cute. So what they do is, apparently only once a month, the Royal Free Charity Service and the volunteers there will offer to bring a pet therapy dog to come and meet you at the ward. Now, because ours is like a transplant ward and there's issues of lack of immunity and so on, the dog was not allowed on the ward, so we went out to go see the dog on the ward. So that's the entire bay of 4 of us on there, and a bunch of other people who turn up, and most of the staff on the ward, and anyone who passed by, and I think a couple of people from other wards even got news of it and came out. So there was this very popular, very happy doggy, getting a lot of cuddles and attention. So we got to have that experience, which is something amazing. I love anywhere that does that kind of thing. And these guys also do like massages. You can book them up and say, is there any slot for someone to come give me a massage, because my shoulder, I've been lying on the bed for 3 days and my shoulders have seized up. They do beauty therapy, they do haircuts and barbering, they do like all sorts of support, so you can have a chat with them about financial support and other kind of things, other worries that patients with chronic illness might have, and so on. Like the guys are just fantastic. So if you're in a hospital, if you're in any hospital, find out what the charity is there. There usually is one, and find out if they run any services, and then support them. Even if you're not going to use those services, support them, please, because these guys do a lot of work for some people who really, really need it. There are people who literally have not got out of bed for like 6-10 weeks, and to be able to have a dog come up to you and sit by your bed and you stroke the dog just is, in that moment, life-changing. It turns everything around. So please, please, please support those hospital charities as much as you can. So one of the fun things I've got at the moment is Tremors. Now I'm going to do my next episode all about Tremors because there's a bit more content I want to add into it that I haven't recorded yet, and otherwise this episode is going to be too long, because it already is. The one thing that I should actually say is a continuation of the story earlier about doing too much. What I realised afterwards is, yes, that I'd done too much, and that although I was kind of going, yes, I can walk around the ward, actually I wasn't walking very well. I had to relearn how to walk and how to breathe properly while I was walking. I had to learn how to walk with my back straight, because all the pins that are in my chest are pulling tight, and I have to kind of fight back against them a little bit, and I guess I instinctively didn't want to fight that, and I slouched over. So when I say I was walking around the ward, what I was actually doing is I was shuffling with my shoulders hunched forward and just shuffling along very awkwardly and not breathing particularly deeply, just kind of little rests. So I had to just keep going around the ward several times a day and teach myself to stand tall, really stand with my back as straight as possible and fill my lungs with air. And I'm much, much better at it. I'm still wonking my feet, and I'm still not quite taking full breaths, and I still don't stand quite tall. But I'm definitely a lot further than I was, and it's making a difference. It's making everything else easier. So any of you guys who are going through this process or are going to go through this process, make sure you don't make the mistakes I did. Don't rush through it. Get the basics right. Make sure you're walking properly and breathing properly at the same time before you move on to steps and other things. Also, don't be an idiot like me and use the steps that are out in the main building. Actually, a lot of places like this have a little set of steps in a corner where you go up one side and down the other side, just as a little exercise steps thing. A lot safer for you than walking up giant concrete steps that nobody else in the hospital uses. Don't be me. So the last thing I'd like to say is a big thank you to all of you guys, everyone who's shown support, everyone who's watched this. Don't forget to like, comment and share, and particularly to those friends of mine who have set up a GoFundMe campaign for me. I believe they launched it pretty much as I was going in for surgery, although everything's a little bit fuzzy. The whole thing is a little bit weird, but yes, it's a massive thank you to those friends. I'm just absolutely overwhelmed and blown away, and have actually literally been reduced to tears a number of times by the amount of love and support that is flowing in from everyone. So I'm so grateful to all of you guys, and it's going to make a massive difference when I start moving on to finishing my teaching career, and making sure I'm not homeless at the time and things like that. So thank you very, very much. It really means a lot. And those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, the GoFundMe campaign, I will put the link in the comments down below. And please, even if you can't donate, and I'm not asking any of you to donate because I actually find it really uncomfortable to ask people for things like that. So what I will ask you to do is donate if you want to. Yeah, I'm not dealing with that bit. You can tell I don't do this well. But please share this, everyone you can. Share it on every social media platform you're on. Share it with your friends, share it with your enemies, share it with random celebrities who you've never spoken to before. Anything you can do to get this spread about and known, then please do, because even if 1,000 of you sharing and nobody responds, at the very least it's raised a little bit of awareness of liver disease and transplants. So, you know, that's the worst that can happen. And I'll be honest, I've been feeling kind of bad about the whole thing. Like I say, I feel very uncomfortable asking people for help, as I've said in previous videos, and accepting help, and asking for money just makes my skin itch. But one of my friends told me today about some people, a number of people across GoFundMe, who've basically said, oh, I want a new bike, or I want a new PlayStation, and set up a GoFundMe, and people are donating to them, which is by all means their right. But then I'm kind of like, well, if people's lives are perfectly good and they're asking for people to just give them money to make their good lives better, then I probably shouldn't feel bad about asking for some support and love in the situation that I've managed to get myself in due to the illnesses that I am fighting through. So yeah, I'm still struggling with the idea, but please, for the sake of my friends who are putting a ridiculously huge effort into all of this, share everywhere. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you for watching, and thank you for some of the lovely comments and feedback I've been receiving on Facebook, on the videos. I really hope these are interesting and helpful to you all. I have had some great feedback from some people saying that you've helped me feel less alone going through this. I didn't think anyone else in the world understood what I was going through. Trust me, there are a lot of us out there, and we've all been through very similar experiences. And as my friend on the ward says, honestly, no one else does really truly understand what it's like. They can't. Just as I can't understand what it's like to give birth or something, I can read about it as much as possible. But if we spread videos like this, and if you guys start making your own videos, then we will get to a point where people are at least more aware of it. And as my friend said, even the doctors and surgeons don't know what it's like. They know what their side is like, they know what the textbook says. But the actual patient experience, which is what I'm trying to capture here, what it's like for me, that part is something that there will always be a part of that I cannot portray. So those of you who are out there who have been through the similar or are coming up to the same, just please understand there are people out here. There are a number of support groups on Facebook and all over the place. If anyone's going through anything like this, please feel free to message me on YouTube, or leave a comment, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And I'll even point you in towards whatever groups or resources or anything I know, because that's why I'm doing this. I want to help people. Okay, so I'm going to leave that at that. This is far longer than I intended it to be, so have a great evening. I will try to get the next video up pretty soon, which should be about Tremors, not the 1990s film Tremors with Kevin Bacon. Was it Kevin Bacon? No, it wasn't. Who the heck was in that film? To be honest, my memory is so short right now, I'm lucky I even remember there was a film. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Yes, goodbye.
Then cut out your liver and put in a new one!